You just watched a short video snippet. Now look at your perspective taking worksheet. Completion of this worksheet will be demonstrated for you by video. After the model demonstration, read each question in the box of the perspective taking worksheet completely. Read the question in box 1 first. After you finish reading the question in box 1, write the answer to question 1. After you finish writing your answer to question 1, the researcher, which is myself, will check to see if your answer is correct. If your answer is correct for question 1, the researcher will tell you to read the question in box 2 of the perspective taking worksheet. You will continue in the same fashion as question 1 for all questions in the perspective taking worksheet until all 10 questions are answered. If your answer is not correct for question 1, however, you will watch the snippet again, the identical snippet as before. Instructions will be played again, and how to complete the worksheet will be modeled again. After the model demonstration, read each question in each box of the perspective taking worksheet completely. Read the question in box 1 first. After you finish reading the question in box 1, write the answer to the question. After you finish writing your answer to question 1, the researcher will check to see if your answer is correct. If your answer is correct for question 1, the researcher will tell you to read the question in box 2 of the perspective taking worksheet. To advance to the next question, the previous question in that box must be answered correctly. Each box is a chain to the previous box. To move forward in the chain, each link must be answered correctly. After modeling and rehearsing 3 cycles on the same question, a different snippet will be used. Perspective taking worksheet. This is an example of a perspective taking worksheet. You will notice there's a picture below the title, Perspective Taking Worksheet. This picture will go with the video snippet that you just watched. This particular perspective taking worksheet goes with the video snippet, One-on-One Street Ball Match. There are 10 boxes containing 10 questions on every perspective taking worksheet. For instructional purposes, let's review each question in its entirety. Question number 1. What did they do to socialize in the snippet? Question number 2. Who started the conflict? You will notice that the term initiator is in parentheses. This is so because from this point forward, initiator will be known as the person who started the conflict. Question number 3. Who responded to the conflict? You will notice that responder is in parentheses. This is so because from this point forward, responder will be known as the person who responded to the conflict. Question 4. What did initiator do that caused a conflict? Question number 5. What did responder do right after the conflict? Question number 6. What emotions did responder show right after the conflict? Question 7. What was responder's facial expressions that showed you how he felt? Question 8. What was responder's body language that showed you how he felt? Question 9. If you were initiator, what would you have done to try to prevent the conflict from happening? Question 10. If you were initiator, what would you do to try to solve the conflict if it did happen? Now you will see a video presentation or model of actual presentations of how to answer the problem-solving worksheet, question by question.
The perspective taking worksheet will be modeled from your point of view as I read each question with a model answer. Remember, all answers are model examples. Your answer does not have to exactly match the model answer. The answer must answer the question correctly with the end goal of solving the conflict positively. We will now begin modeling the perspective taking worksheet, a tablet. Read the question. Question 1. What did they do to socialize in the snippet? Now think back to the snippet. 2 people were in a room together. Write the answer. Box 1 is complete. Now go to box 2, question 2. Read the question. Question 2. Who started the conflict? Now think about what they were doing in question 1. What happened when things went wrong? Who caused that to happen? The individual standing up started the conflict. Now write the answer. Question 1 and question 2 are complete. Go to question 3. Read the question. Question 3. Who responded to the conflict? Think back to the snippet. Who did initiate a target? The girl sitting on the bed responded. Write the answer. Questions 1 through 3 are complete. Go to question 4. Read the question. Question 4. What did Anisha do that caused a conflict? Think back to the snippet. Remember the answers for the first 3 questions. Now reread those questions and answers to help see what is connecting them together. Initiator hit and took the girl's tablet. Now write the answer. The first 4 questions are complete. Go to question 5. Read the question. Question 5. What did responder do right after the conflict? What was responder's response that showed that there was a conflict? She pushed initiator's hands and cried. Now write the answer. Questions 1 through 5 are complete. Go to question 6. Read the question. Question 6. What emotions did responders show right after the conflict? Think back to the snippet. Use what you know about what type of facial expressions and body language go with emotions. Responders seem to be upset. Write the emotion. Questions 1 through 6 are complete. Go to question 7. Rate the question. Question 7. What was responders' facial expressions that showed you how a responder felt. Think about the snippet. Her lips were turned downward. Write the answer. Questions 1 through 7 are complete. Go to question 8. Read the question. Question 8. What was the responder's body language that showed you how a responder felt? Think about the snippet. She was pushing her hands out and cried. Write the answer. Questions 1 through 8 are complete. Go to question 9. Read the question. Question 9. If you were an initiator, what would you have done to try to prevent the conflict from happening? Think about the snippet. Now think about responders' emotional response. What would I have done differently so that the conflict would not have happened? I would have asked her for the tablet. Now write the answer. Questions 1 through 9 are complete. Go to question 10. Read the question. Question 10. If you were initiator, what would you do to try to solve the conflict if it happened? Think about the snippet. How can I correct the conflict to try to make things positive? I will apologize and give the tablet back. Now, write the answer. All questions are answered. The perspective taking worksheet is complete.